I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to be 100% honest in your answering. Do you believe that being a black woman means you're always going to have less? That even if you try really hard, you're probably not going to get what you want? That, the top of the line things are for other races of women, other groups of people? Be honest. I'm asking you this because I really want you to examine what you think is possible for you, what you think is possible for black women. In my last video, I talked about how black women's limiting beliefs are the key thing that's keeping us on the bottom of society, both systemically and within our individual lives. That deep down, we don't really believe we deserve more. That was a major realization that I had, and I really, really want to focus on that and zoom in on that because I see that this is where the work is going to begin with us examining our beliefs, examining our minds. So in this video, I'm going to go deeper into that theme, and I'm going to talk about how we can develop and keep what I call a powerful mind. So first of all, what is a powerful mind? A powerful mind is the mind that's going to open you up, build your confidence, and lead you to act outside of your old limiting beliefs. This mind no longer subconsciously believes in inferiority and accepts less. This mind is going to make you and us powerful. I started my pages to help black women understand two fundamental things: power itself and how we can wield our power to change our place in the world. You can't do either of those things without having a powerful mind. Our beliefs shape our actions, and our actions shape our lives. So, therefore, a powerful mind is key to us changing our lives and our place in the world. How to get a powerful mind? Let's get into it. Now, over the years and centuries of black women's oppression, we've seen so much evidence that is negatively pointed against us. From the moment that we're born, we're hit with these messages that to be a black woman means to be less, to receive less, to accept less, that we should ask for less. And it's reinforced everywhere. And so you're probably wondering, how can you have a powerful mind like that? How can you act like and live like you don't see all of these isms and the oppression going on around you? If you're asking that question, that means you're still outsourcing your power in your life to someone else. You need to take the decision back from the hands of the people around you, back from the systems, and wield that power yourself. The very first thing that you need to do to have a powerful mind is to create a safe physical space for yourself, and that is your home. I mean that literally, your home. Your home is the one place where you can escape the world. This is the one place where you can fully exist as you, away from society, away from oppression, away from hateful people. Think of your home as a small world, a world inside of a larger world that you have control over. This is the one place where everything should be comfortable, safe, stress-free, and 100% catered to you. If you live with other people and they're toxic, you need to find your way out of there. If you're around toxic family, you need to find your way out of there. A lot of these issues that we deal with, they come from our families first. So find your way out. What kind of neighborhood do you live in? Is it a dangerous neighborhood where you're constantly looking over your shoulder? Can you walk to your car from your front door and feel fine? Or are you going to be anxious, stressed, scared? That's not a good environment. That's not somewhere you want to be. Let me read you the opener of this article done by Harvard. It is about how environment shapes our development. A wide range of conditions in the places where children live, grow, play, and learn can get under the skin and affect their developing brains and other biological systems. Rapidly advancing science around early childhood development provides increasingly clear evidence that, beginning before birth, these environmental conditions shape how children develop, which shapes their lifelong physical and mental health in turn. The title of this study is called Place Matters. The environment we create shapes the foundations of healthy development. This is a 20-page document. It is intensely informative. I don't have time to go through it here in this video, but it basically outlines all the ways in which your environment and your family's socioeconomic status affects the kind of person that you will become. If you read this article, you will see just how clear and how important it is that your environment be a healthy and supportive one for your development. And so obviously, while you can't go back and change your childhood, as an adult, you can be aware of where you are staying, and you can make sure that your environment is supporting you, that your environment isn't destroying you. You don't want to have things and people around you that's keeping you from living a healthy life. When you look outside of your window, the very first thing that you should feel is peace and safety. You can't achieve these higher concepts of being powerful if your very environment doesn't even support it. And ladies, be very, very, very careful of men. I personally don't suggest bringing them to your house, especially if you haven't known them for an extremely long time and you have not vetted them extremely well. Even if you bring a man into your home just for a night or two, maybe you're seeing this guy and then later you break up, what's going to happen is you're going to feel this sense of his lingering energy in your space, and you really don't want that. And then you're going to have to cleanse your house. You're going to have to change some things around just to kind of get rid of that old feeling that you had when he was frequently coming over. So just be very careful about who you invite into your house as well. So again, your home is your very first reality. It's the first thing that you see around you. You're probably listening to this video from your home. So being that that's your first reality, that needs to be the first place that is under your control. So that is your first place that you start with developing a powerful mind. The very next thing you need to do is watch what you view. Watch what you view. Social media, shows, music, movies, all the forms of entertainment, you need to be very mindful of what you're taking in. There is a lot of negative information out there. There's a lot of negative entertainment, and you cannot fall victim to it. On social media, we have rage baiters. These are people who are saying provocative things just to get you to respond. They will say black women just to get the algorithm to bring black women over to comment on their posts, to blow their posts up. How do you know if somebody's rage baiting you? Well, if they're posting something that's blatantly disgusting and you automatically find yourself compelled to just go off with an angry response, that's rage bait. Please understand that you don't need to respond to everything. You don't even need to finish reading and listening to everything. If you see something and, it's starting to provoke you, I would say stop right there in the middle and scroll away from that and block that person. I'm very big on not even allowing certain words, certain concepts to enter into your conscious mind, because what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself constantly trying to scrub that away. The more negativity that you ingest, that you take in, that's more negativity that you have to fight against, and you don't want that. And you remember I made a post about how when you are in public as a black woman, how you don't need to make eye contact with certain groups of people. You don't need to even interact with them, because what's going to happen is they're going to get too comfortable, and then they're going to do something to insult you or to offend you. And then now you're going to have to battle that, and you're going to have to try to build yourself back up just because you had a needless interaction with them. It's the same way on social media. You don't need to have needless interactions with things that tear you down. Just block it and keep moving. Be wary of news stories that get you all worked up. There's always another story about what's going on, especially, in the time that we live in today. You need to be very careful that you're not letting that get you all out of proportion. Unless you are using social media to discuss a specific solution or offer some kind of help to other black women, you really don't need to be engaging with these news stories or posting or talking about them. For shows and movies, if you are watching something and you don't see a black girl, start asking yourself why you're watching it. I can understand certain historical documentaries or just certain specific stories, but if this is just a show for fun and has no black women in it, ask yourself why. Now, if that is deliberate erasure, I would say don't watch that show at all. If they took someone who was supposed to be black and they made this person a white woman, or they made a character who was supposed to be a dark-skinned woman and they made her into a light-skinned woman, I'd say don't watch that. Are the actors themselves known for being racist and colorist against black women? That's another reason to avoid a show or movie. Does the show or the movie have negative representation? I personally believe that no representation is better than negative representation. So, if your show is not harmful but it doesn't have representation, you have to use your judgment on that. But if the show has negative representation, then I would tell you don't watch that at all. Watching the negative representation is only going to reinforce your negative limited beliefs. The last thing that you should be doing in your free time is ingesting more evidence against what you're working and believing to become. You don't want to watch a black woman be last, unloved, struggling, unhealthy, poor, etc., when you already have the entire world around you presenting you with that evidence. It's the same for music. Pay attention to the lyrics. Pay attention to what they're saying. You don't want to be listening to a song that's putting you down or making you feel down, and you're just reinforcing a negative experience. Make sure that you're not reinforcing your own erasure. Your Instagram page and your Pinterest board shouldn't be filled with white women, mixed women, non-black women. It is unhealthy for you to be constantly viewing people who don't look like you. There's also studies done on positive representation. I'm going to link those too, because this is scientific. This is important. Like, all of this is a part of our powerful mind, our self-concept. So when you're on these pages, follow the women who look like you. Follow the women with hair like you, with skin like you, with bodies like you. If you see a woman and she has something that you don't have, and you're starting to notice that that's making you self-conscious about what you don't have, and it's something that you can't change, such as your skin or your body or your hair, you can obviously go into the gym, you can get fit. But if she has a body type that you don't have and you can't achieve, it may be time for you to scroll away. You may not need to continue viewing that. So when it comes to your visual and your media experience, you need to go through and see what you're listening to, see what you're taking in, and see if that is reinforcing negativity against you as a black woman. If it's making you feel small, if it's making you feel ugly, if it's making you feel depressed, unwanted, fearful, anxious, all of these negative emotions, you need to get rid of it, and you need to stop engaging with it. Curate your visual world and curate it ruthlessly. Watch what you view. Third thing that you need to do, move. And I mean move everything. Your body, your schedule, or move in a certain direction. When we move, we feel in control. Power is the ability to make things move. And again, this is how you have a powerful mind. Move your body. I personally don't think that enough black women have tapped into the absolute fantastic feeling of the post-workout experience. It's something so underrated about leaving the gym after you sweated, you've pushed through, you've committed that day. That just makes you feel so much better about yourself, so much more in control of yourself, and like you have momentum. And if you really want to feel that, control over yourself in the rawest way possible, physical movement is excellent for that. It's very hard to move your body and still feel down. And if you don't know that yet, because maybe you haven't been working out yet, or maybe you're inconsistent with your workouts, just give it a try. You're going to feel so amazing walking out of the gym, or the dance class, Pilates class, or whatever, or a walk that you went on. You're going to feel so good leaving there. You're just going to feel literally more powerful. Move your schedule. Do something new. Do something that feels daring. Book a trip to somewhere randomly. Buy a new perfume. Try on a color that you don't usually wear. Or, pay for a class to experience a hobby that you've never engaged in. That's movement. Do something that feels unusual. There was a suggestion, I need to find that article as well, about how it's a good idea to sometimes brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand. It's all of these things like this, that they seem like small things, but they actually have a science behind them. And that science is that when you try something new, when you visit somewhere new, or you enjoy a new experience, you're telling yourself that you're capable of witnessing on a much larger scale something else new in your life. Now follow me with this. If all you've known in your limiting beliefs is the same schedules, the same habits, the same patterns, you're going to start thinking that you can never experience newness, because that's what you train your brain to see. But when you deliberately make yourself try new things, do new things, you get new memories and you get new experiences. And so then when you're trying to picture a new world, or a better world, better life for yourself, it's not going to be as hard for you to believe that, because you've already seen new things in the smaller ways in your life. So essentially what you're doing is you're building your confidence. But you're building it just by trying these very simple, insignificant things. And so by the time you aim for the larger, more important things, about your career, about these systems, your brain is going to be so used to stepping out of its comfort zone, and it's going to use all those new things that you've done as experience. And I think that's the phase where I am in now, where I'm just trying so many new things, and just being so open to new things, creating new habits, new patterns, because I'm actively building my confidence. And as I said in my last video, I have been praying for 2 whole years, how can I build my confidence? And it really just kind of dawned on me now exactly what I need to be doing to build that confidence. And this is, of course, why I'm sharing this video with you. And now we are going straight into the next piece of my move advice. Move in a direction, move in a new direction. This whole year, I've been making a ton of decisions. And do you know what helped make me more confident in making those decisions? It's simply the fact that I picked something, that I moved in a certain direction. When I move in a certain direction, I feel like I'm telling my brain that I'm capable of making a decision that won't harm me or destroy me, that I'm capable of making a decision and not stalling, that I'm capable of making a decision and not getting stuck in it, that I have momentum. It is a very great and underrated feeling to make a decision and to come out on the other side of that decision and feel like you made it, that you didn't drown, that nothing fell apart. You need to get comfortable with making intentional decisions. Don't be afraid to move. Don't be afraid to leave your old job, start a new career. Don't be afraid to break up with that person that you're in a relationship with that is no longer working out with. Don't be afraid to move states. Don't be afraid to travel outside of the country. Don't be afraid to join a new club. Move. Make decisions. And remember in my last video, I talked about a lot of the times that Black women don't push for higher positions because they don't believe they can really do it? Well, moving helps that. Because if you're constantly moving, that means you're not going to just stay right where you are. So you stay moving, you stay reaching for more, you stay building that confidence, you stay creating that new story, that new identity, you stay building that powerful mind. So as you practice all these things, what is your life looking like? What kind of woman is that going to make you? Well, you're going to look like a woman who lives in a house where she is safe and peaceful. You're going to be a woman who isn't a stat for interpersonal violence because your home has only you in it. And when it does have other people who may visit, those people are healthy, safe people. You're going to be a woman who's emotionally regulated because you're not fearing for your life 24/7, just walking from the car to your front door. You're going to be a woman who feels genuinely supported and uplifted by the visual entertainment she consumes. You're going to feel beautiful because your shows and your music and your other media told you so. Your Instagram Explore page full of dark-skinned women with curly hair reaffirmed your beauty. It helped you find your fashion sense. It helped you be more confident in loving yourself. It made you fall in love with your own texture, with your own body. Who do we have when you practice these things? We have a woman who moves. We have a woman who makes decisions and she trusts herself to make those decisions. We have a woman who moves her body and she's fit. We have a woman who's pleased with where she's going, who feels like she has momentum. Do you see the mental profile? Do you see the powerful mind? Do you see where this is going? This is a woman who is deliberately escaping the system that's set up to fail her. This is a woman who's rejecting negative stereotypes. This is a woman who has created a world where she's thriving because she's deliberately set up checkpoints and spaces all throughout her life that will reinforce positive, strong beliefs in her mind. This is a woman who is building a powerful mind. This video could get extremely long, so I'm going to wrap it up here, but I am going to leave a last but not least piece of advice on how to have a powerful mind, and that is beautify yourself. Now, you know how I always talk about not feeling less than as a Black woman? Well, this is a huge part of it. It is very hard to feel like you deserve less, like you're small, like you're unworthy, like you're unwanted, when you literally look and feel like your best. When you beautified yourself, you are going to feel valuable. So, get yourself some nice clothes that make you feel good. Skincare products. Get things that are going to make you feel soft, feminine, delicate, dainty. History tried to devalue us in so many ways, in every way, as Black women. Beautifying yourself is one of those ways, one of those very main ways that you take back the control over your immediate physical and personal space. So start living now as if history never existed, as if you are always valuable, as if you are the most precious entity that is walking this earth. Start inhabiting that persona. How do you have a powerful mind? By creating the things in your life that reinforce your safety, that reinforce your beauty, that reinforce your intelligence, that reinforce your freedom. As you continue to take control over all of these areas of your life, you are going to watch your limiting beliefs dwindle. You don't need to wait for the world to give you safety. You don't need to wait for the world to give you praise. You don't need to wait for the world to give you comfort. You don't need to wait for the world to give you confidence. You don't need the world to change what it means to be a black woman. You can change that. You can do all of that. You can build your own in your everyday mindful habits. You can have a powerful mind. If we can start there with doing these things, who knows what else we can do? Don't we want to know what else we can do? Don't we believe that black women deserve better? Don't we believe that we deserve better? If you stayed here to the end of this video, I want to thank you so much. And I also want to say that I see all of your comments and I absolutely adore them. I see your comments on TikTok. I see your messages. I see your comments here. Even if I don't reply to the personal messages, please know that I'm absolutely reading them and I'm nodding. And then I'm thinking, how can I expand on this? Because this person in my messages has pointed this out. They've expressed something about that. I'm just so encouraged when I see you all agreeing with me, or you're adding your stories under my posts, relating to what I'm talking about. I welcome all of your comments, your feedback, everything. So I just want to thank you for being here, for following me. And I really, really hope that, you won't just listen, but you will actually do the things that I'm talking about, that you will find ways to include these new habits into your lifestyle. Create yourself a new life. Create yourself a powerful mind. I hope you'll be back for my next video, for you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Thank you.